Welcome to yet another video. Today, I'm going to discuss about the top 5 domains that every developer should work when he's working in an IT industry. Whether he is a fresher, whether he's an experienced, what domain would definitely help in their career long term. So I cannot explain the significance of the domains which will play an important role, because what happens is that when you work for a certain domain in a certain experience level and for a long duration, right, you become an SME, an expert, and people or the organization tend to hire such people who has got in-depth knowledge about the domain, and they get to know about the in and out of that, and people who have worked and experienced and known the system, right? So it plays a vital role. And always, if you see, like, people working in a certain industry would definitely look out to work in a certain industry only, okay? Because they, by working in that particular area, they gain certain knowledge, and also for them it's quite easy to grasp the knowledge, work on certain features, and serve the company, right? So it plays a two-way, I would say, where company benefits their experience, and also the person who gains knowledge is showing his capability that he knows something and is able to contribute somewhere, okay? So this video is about my experience as well, and also the mix and match of the other people who has been working around me. Personally, I have been working in the banking domain for most of my experience, and the domains which I have mentioned here, right? So these are across, like, big giants, whether you name it, TCS, Cognizant, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, Nomura. There are n number of companies which revolve around, or, like, they have custom design solution around these particular sectors. Okay, so as I mentioned, as a fresh developer or every software engineer, right? People work for these sectors, right? Whatever, if you see this particular, whatever projects you are working on, right, should is definitely belonging to certain sectors and domains. Okay, so we'll check out the top 5 domains which I feel is one of the important, and people should definitely to try to work on it. Okay, so let's begin. BFSI. I consider this one of the, I would say, important domain, and also this is one of the major sector or the domain which cover ups the IT giants revenue or profits, right, which comes from them, right? So there are big IT clients there are who depend on the IT giant kind companies, who as a customers, they give their requirements, they want this particular solution to be developed up, right? uh, it's banking, finance, financial service, and insurance. There are big companies which rely on the IT companies to uh, develop certain feature. They want certain features to be developed, and they ask the companies to develop the certain feature, and they pay that for, right? So this is one of the biggest chunk, I would say, when it comes to, when you, let's say, compare it with the other industries, right? So it's very, as I mentioned, it's quite now, what is banking, right? It's quite secure when you go with any of this particular normal banking, corporate banking, internet banking, right? So there are quite systems which rely, and there is security, there is an efficiency, there are feasibility for a user which to be developed, right? So it plays an important role for both end user and also the customer who is the business who is running it, right? So there is no I would say mistakes that should be done, because it can cost millions of dollars. And the I've just noted down couple of projects, like, digital banking platform. They develop certain application for managing the customer's account, transferring from one account to another account, whether it's same bank or a different bank, right? The transactions, whether it is wiring, whether it is Indian currency to or foreign currency, it depends. But providing solution around it which safe and secure and also according to the highest quality, this plays a very important role for the business, right? So it's very important for them. Fraud detection systems like building a machine learning model to identify certain fraudulent transactions. There are some cross site attacks, so detecting certain things and also developing applications around it can give you an edge, right? As a person who is working, gaining knowledge and experience around it, right? So what kind of mechanism have you used, what experience have you applied for yourself, right? So this all matters when you are trying to work on a certain domain and you gain certain knowledge around it, right? So loan management system are in the banking industry itself, like or the financial services, right? So creating a software around it where at the each level of right, starting from acquiring to the customer till like selling the processing, getting the processing the loan, distribution of that particular amount, managing their repayment, EMI, etc. Right, whole, I would say, the life cycle of the loan management system. So there are many projects has been done around it, right? So insurance claim system. Now many organization, I would say, have started their companies or they, I would say, their companies, right? So they, what they certainly do is that they develop a certain project around it with the insurance claim system, so that when they're launching their own insurance company, okay, so they require a software to manage the huge customer base, like millions of customers are there who is buying their insurance. There is a reclaim process, there is a settlement, lot of things are taken care at the background. So if you see, as in BFSI, it's a very broad sector and it covers three major things. That is, one is banking, one is financial service, and insurance, right? So I personally like this particular sector a lot because there is a lot of opportunity and you have no downside of it, right? Whether if you have been working in this in this sector for a long time, the things will be taken care. You will get one another company or one another domain, right, where the company is working around, right? So there will be a never opportunity less for it, right? So there will be n number of opportunity, so you will be safeguarded over there. So try to look majorly, if it is BFSI, then it will be very good. And these projects are, I would say, when you compare with the other domains, right, it's kind of very stable because bank will never change their softwares very frequently, right? So they will stick around that particular system. They want to be secure, they want to be safe, they want to be on the top of that particular customer base, right? So they're never going to be down, and it is going to be increased but never decreased, right? So look out for this particular domain. Telecom. Now the matter of fact, right, where we are using the mobile phones, the telecom industries, right? We use a lot of it, right? So I would say we breathe on it, right? So it's one of the important sector, and basically it drives the connectivity between whether it is individual, whether it is the global systems or the countries, right? It plays a very important role, and also it focuses on the real-time systems, I would say, where the data, I mean the calling or voice calling, the internet, right? So this is one of the, I would say, a life for some people who definitely rely on it. And also if you see the major telecom, like if you take out of India, right, Geo the telecom, right? So there it is quite humongous. It has got a huge customer base, right? So they have got their own internal systems, right? Tech Mahindra, if you call it out, it has been majorly revolving around telecom industry. They have got big clients, right? Network, so kind of projects what it is there in the telecom industry, right? So if you see, there are some network performance monitoring like tools that are built to analyze and visualize the network performance of the data, what is happening around it, right? Billing and subscription. Now you are a customer, right? You want to have a plan which is for a year, monthly, or a weekly, for a I would say 6 months, 3 months, right? Those plans, subscription, you have to handle certain, develop a system for them to handle huge customer, their billing processes, their data usage charges or whatever, right? So a number of things comes when it comes to providing services, right? So subscription services. Now call data records. Now this is something which is when you're calling somebody, right, analyzing their calls, the usage pattern, the annual decision, right, etc. This plays a very vital role. So there are many projects revolving around it where, in this particular sector. And recently the chatbots has been coming majorly where they deal with the customer support. Now earlier there used to be a customer center, and then you used to call over there, get your resolution over there. Now with the help of the AI and chatbots, right, you get your resolution for a most commonly issues, or whether it is like it will never uh, I mean, it will satisfy your questions or issues, right? It will try to sort your issues, and if it is not able to sort it, ultimately it is go to the second level. But most of the questions are sorted at the chatbot level, right? So it's a NLP, so that is a natural language processing, which is based on that, and then it will handle the customer based on the data it has. Okay, so there are many projects revolving around, and then this is also like I would say a $1 billion, a $1 million industry. I would say like it is little bit less than not lesser I would say, but it is quite equal when it comes to the big this market size, right? Uh, let's look at the next. Healthcare. Now you must be already knowing the healthcare industry. You have been seeing the holiday, I mean hospitals, right? Their own systems, or how they deal with the process, right? When the moment the customer, the patient enters, what things to be done, like all these particular things, right? They focus on certain patients, certain data, certain health issues, right, accurate to which will help them provide for their current I would say the market size, or also if they are uh, dealing, or they wanted to launch certain new hospitals, right? So for the what kind of health issues been coming up, so this will all help in developing a solution which is around the healthcare demand, right? And what kind of things can be helpful to the customer as well as the business, right? So the example projects which I mean, I've come across speaking to a lot of people around me, and also myself working in it, right? So electronic health records, which will give you a secure platform for managing your patients' medical records, etc. Right? The telemedicine app, which will actually build an app for the virtual doctor consultants and prescription management system, disease prediction systems, develop and model to predict the likelihood of the disease based on the patient data, his habits, and what he's maintaining his exercise, the habits of like how he's been, right? So by internally scanning, there are I would say large machines with if you see the scanners or the MRI scanners, if you see, these are all dependent on the software, right? Of course there is an hardware, but the major part which is handling the hardware, right, or processing or handling or collecting the data is software, right? So this is the major I would say part where software comes in picture, and the domain, right? Appointment scheduling system, how the doctors get appointment, automated booking, how online calling, prescription, and then rescheduling, following up, right? So there are a number of features that has been developed around it, right? So healthcare is also one of the biggest and also the growing industry, I would say. You must already be knowing the COVID scenario, like number of people are facing health issues there. If you see the current uh, how the lifestyle of the people is causing so much health issues when new kind of health issues are being coming up, right? So healthcare also is quite growing industry, booming industry, I would say. Retail e-commerce, this has been in the there for the long time, and also you see around it, you basically in and out, I would say, daily come across it. So this retail, whether it is the grocery shop, whether it is the fashion or any of them, right? So it requires certain maintenance, certain applications to be developed around it. Whether what kind of people are coming in, who are buying in, who is not buying, why they are not buying, right? So to analyzing certain data, certain features, the customer behavior, so software and demand solutions are developed around it, right? So they want their own personalized solution to be developed up for their own organization, so that they provide value to the customer. They want their uh, data to be analyzed in such way that uh, the customer, why have they not buyed it, or like, if they have buyed it, what is the reason they have buyed it, right? All this particular data is collected and then worked around a certain project, so that they have that particular customer attraction, right? So example, like e-commerce, right? If you see major clients like Amazon, Flipkart, Chroma, you name it, right? There are n number of e-commerce website which has been developing, and then you have the product listing, shopping cart, payment, integration, etc., right? Their cart, the orders, etc. You mentioned it, like you will have the whole life cycle been developed around it, and then maintained by these particular domains, right? So inventory management system, now you have the particular software to track the stock level, automating reordering, and also like to maintain, like how it is going, where is there any discrepancy, how much it is stock is left out. So it gives you a clear cut picture, and also gives the business gives the understanding, how to behave and act on it, right? So recommendation engine, now building a system to suggest products based on the behavior and the user search what is doing, right? So there are n number of applications developed around it. When you try, if you see Google, right, when you search something around it, you'll try to find only those things as an ad as well. If you see there's a certain promotion been happening, whether you search in the YouTube, let's say. So there are those kind of things only will appear around it. Now there are many big, I would say, if you name it as an across, like Walmart, there are many, right, big giants, right? So they are definitely have a software as an backend where they use that particular systems and the applications around it to make their process seamless and the customer experience, right? Customer loyalty programs. Now, this is one of the important features when it comes to reacquiring or asking the person to revisit and then buy, right? So rewards are there, customer engagement, their loyalty points, etc., right? So those management of this also quite plays an important role and gives the business an important details. Now, energy and utilities. Now, this is, I would say, the domain which is focused on optimizing the resource usage and ensuring sustainability, right? So, there are many projects which are running around it, like smart metering system to monitor how much energy consumption is done, like in your locality, what kind of organization runs the energy metering system, right? So that they can subscribe, or like, and I would say they would ask you to pay that particular bill, right? So based on the consumption what you do, the payment and the is done, right? They are billed for it. Now, predictive maintenance for the equipment. So machine learning is used to predict the equipment failure. In the power and failure, there are certain other features is to be a renewable energy dashboard. Now creating a platform to track the performance of the renewable energy, right? How it is performing, how it is tracking it, right? So these all features are available in the Septon dashboard, which are made available using the software, using the IT giants, right? So billing system for utilities, out of automatic billing of the electricity, water, gas, you name it, right? So whatever can be measured, that can be done in this particular energy related stuff, can be developed a system around the billing system for it, right? Education. Now this is one of the, I would say, uh, one of the biggest industries as of now. If you see, people wanted to learn new stuff, new things, right? It's a booming industry, and it is quite demanding, and it is quite innovative when it comes to providing solution to the customer, and in a better way, right? So on demand, I would say. Okay. Not only like, going somewhere and learning as an offline, but online demand, right? So on demand, I would say. So learning management system has been there for a long system. Earlier you used to learn it from the books and others. So now with the growing economic and growing modern ways where we can learn from the videos, your own personalized, I would say, tracking platform for them to, guide us, like what can be beneficial for them for their skills, which skills can be learned, what is more beneficial for them in terms of monetary and other skill set, right? So assessment and other certification related things. We can also track the students performance analytics, like, you can track the data of the students and predict their outcomes. Virtual classrooms application, which can develop the application in the video conferencing screen sharing, and, collaborative tools. Now working on this particular projects, I mean, basically will equip the developer the core domain knowledge. Okay. And basically it will give him the overall knowledge of what is happening around it, right? It's not only just as an end user, right? You should be able to know the in and out of it, right? Just an example, telecom or mobile, what is happening inside it. Let's say you're using the internet banking, what happens at the back end when you try to log in and then, transfer some money from one bank to another bank. So this give you an overall understanding of that particular domain, the sector. And if you are patient enough and try to learn that particular system, right? So it will pay off to you whenever you have gained the experience, right? Now I've seen many developers who just work, and then, that doesn't uh, grasp the knowledge of that particular domain. Okay. So I would request that the developer, or whoever is watching my video, right, to not only just take it as a task and then work it and complete it, right? So you should be able to take that particular domain knowledge in and out of that, so that it will give an edge with the other developer. I have seen many developers and engineers who have survived in the name of the domain. If they have cracked that particular domain, technical is just a thing, right? So if you have grasped that domain, nobody can beat you, right? So I would suggest that be on top of the domain. It's functional thing. So getting hold of that particular system is quite important. Okay. I hope this particular video was quite helpful for the people who are newcomers, who have not, I would say, experienced, or they have not just stepped into the IT industry, and give them a clear picture of what kind of domain we have. And like, there are different domains as well, but I just noted out 5 of them, so that it will be easy, and also to choose them and decide, right? And which will give you a stagnant career, I would say, or a better career, I would say. And if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and also share it with the needy people, and which will help them to understand what kind of domains. And there are other videos on my channel, please go and check it out. I would say thank you.